Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Today's exciting episode is another visit to a fabric store. It's actually the second half of my visit to the fabric store in Australia called Spotlight. And yeah, it was just, I shot a lot of footage. And let's go look at the second half of the shop. Let's go shopping. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket. So I'll put a card up the top and a link in the description box below to the first half. But basically, I sort of walked to the store and then there's this florals, fabric flower section. And then I looked at all the gorgeous trims that you could use on your Chanel style jacket. And then, some of them are absolutely gorgeous. And then I looked at all the quilting cottons. Well, most of the quilting cottons. It got a little bit crowded, so I gave up, but it was a pretty exhaustive look at all the quilting cottons and all the fabulous prints that they had there. And at the end of the video, I just show you half the fabrics I bought. So if you want to see that, go click the card or the description box below. But for now, let's continue. I shall show you the second half of the store and the second half of my fabric haul. The fabrics I bought. And so now I'm in the hobby section and they just had these sequins hanging there and some googly eyes. And there's another section that has puppet stuff. So there's googly eyes there as well. Giant one, like super giant ones. Anyway, so then and then I found the pom-pom section. Do you really need an entire section for pom-poms? Apparently you do. And then there's feathers as well. Some of these are really beautiful, but I like making jackets that will age, like that are going to last at least 20 or 30 years. And I'm not sure, like with feathers, if you made, because there was this phase with Chanel like 10, 15 years ago where they used ostrich feathers instead of trim to trim all the couture jackets. It's like super, super expensive and it looks amazing. Instead of making a fringe for the jacket out of just a leftover piece of the tweed, you line up all the feathers and you make the fringe out of that way. And yeah, they just look absolutely just so amazing. But I feel like feathers don't age. Like you just have to be they're fragile, so you'd have to be so careful with them. And I don't know how well they would age, so I was just like, I did start doing one and then I ended up taking the feathers off because I prefer, like once I make the jacket, I mean, I can always take the beads off and redo it, but I prefer not to. Anyway, so this is the knitting section. Lots of pretty colours, but I'm not a knitter. And this is the cross stitch section or needlework embroidery section. So many pretty colours of the threads. And yeah, they have these kits where you can, I guess they give you all the canvas that you have to stitch onto as well as all the threads and everything. I'll show you some of them. There's a whole Australiana section. So yeah, there's the I like the frog one because frogs are my favorite animal. They look like they're smiling. I just love them. And also most of them are green, so yeah, so there's Australian animals and a koala and there's a kangaroo too. I think I didn't get that one. And so we finally found the bead section. I like I like all beads really, but I like the variety. So people always ask me, where do you find your beads? Just go to the beading store. Like they often have sales or they have one particular thing on sale, or you can if you just buy one or two strands of beads at a time, then, I mean, it adds up if every single time you go to the store, you buy a couple of things of beads, but you don't feel it as much as like if you go there and you're like, right, I need, 1,000 beads to do this jacket. But if you just buy them, just collect them over the years, then you've got a massive collection and you're like, okay, it's basically all free. It's not. But, there's just all different sorts of things. Seed beads, brown seed beads are surprisingly rare. So I always I think I showed you some of those. Some weird shaped beads and, brown ones are hard to come by. So I always they always catch my eye because I've got so many tweeds that are natural colours. And I also have a lot of bright ones, I guess. But yeah, I love the mixed packets of beads too. They're all such cute colours. It's a while since I came to this store, and they've moved everything around. They used to have the sequin, like the bridal sequin, next to the beads. And these are not really sequins. They're flat beads, like they're sort of thick plasticky thing. But it's still pretty cool. And all the pretty colours. And this is like the kids or the novelty bead section. And I really like these ones. I like juxtaposing beads. So I like having the really expensive like glass pearls next to like these really cute colourful kids beads. I think it's really cute. And I love these glass ones with the metallic finish. They're so beautiful. And loads of different ones. I'm just trying to make them move so you can see how beautiful they are when the light hits them. And loads of different. This is my favourite section, I think. The nice beads where you only get like 10 or so of them. But they're just so beautiful. And they have these packs of beads too. So if you're just starting out, you can get like a bunch of different things. I like these pony beads. This style of bead is called a pony bead. But they're like matte. Normally pony beads are in really bright colours and they're shiny. But those ones are matte and they're in unusual colours, like they're trendy colours. Very cool. And yeah, this is me deciding which. I didn't end up getting any beads because I was off somewhere else. I was like, God, don't start. Because I never buy one strand. I always like, okay, I'll take 10 down and this could be my short list. And then I hardly ever put any of them back. And oh yeah, I found more googly eyes. There were like googly eyes all over that store. And this is these beads. I think you're supposed to like stick them in different patterns and then melt them and they can stay in place, but I actually use them as beads. My favorite ones are the pastel ones. So now we're back to the fabric section. The crowd of people sort of moved on from the fabric section, so I guess it must have been the after brunch hours or something, because yeah, there were quite a few of them. So now we're back. Oh, I like this watermelon one. That will make such a cute dress, or maybe just a layer in a layer cake dress. Also, you know my tweed jacket with the red triangle on the back? I'm thinking of doing one like that, but like turn it round and make it a piece of watermelon, just like a triangle of watermelon. I think that would be good. Me on my constant quest to use up beads. But also having that triangle of weight on the back does make the jacket sit really nicely. And here we go, more florals. And baby sloths. I do have one sloth fabric, but I think one sloth fabric is probably enough. I'm just so into vintage and retro florals at the moment. It is ridiculous. That one is so beautiful. This one's kind of cartoony and it's got flamingos in there, and it's a little bit kitschy in kids, but it's also really pretty. And the colours are just absolutely adorable. This is a section for cotton poplin. Poplin is like halfway between quilting cotton, which is very sturdy and a little bit, it's got a weight to it. And it's a good beginner fabric. Poplin is the next one up, and then the next finest one is cotton lawn, which you make like a delicate shirt out of. So this is a sort of in-between weight, and it's a good one. But I don't know. I like all the cottons, and I found some more vintage florals. These are sort of more, on the mid to early last century ones. I absolutely love a floral print that looks like it's from the 1930s or 1940s. That check one, I just thought it would be good if you making a Chanel style jacket and you wanted to bead it, then that would be good, rather than just using a tweed that you completely cover. You could use a cotton and it would end up being totally covered with beads, but it would give you good guidelines. So yeah, there's just so many pretty florals. I just want them all. I mean, I don't have the time or the space to use all of them, but they're just so. Oh, I got a meter of that one last year, and I used it in my Halloween October dress. The the layer cake dress. It was one of the layers. This one is absolutely gorgeous. I would totally wear a cotton reversible summer jacket out of that. It would be so pretty. Yes, because I need an excuse to buy more fabric. And this section had some really beautiful ones in here. This is the cotton lawn section, and that one with the brighter flowers on it. It's kind of a 1930s print, but with colours that are 1970s. It's a weird combination, but I quite like it. I quite like all of them. And then there's a foxy print. And this one, I think that I was approaching the Disney section at this point. And I think, I haven't seen Bambi, but the other one. You know, the animated part at the start of Enchanted, that rom-com? Yeah. Anyway, and then there's some... I have seen Tangled. I really like Tangled, but everyone says it's the best Disney movie and it's not like any of the other Disney princess movies. So I kind of don't want to see any other ones because Tangled, I'm just, whenever I go to the Disney section, I'm like, oh, I'll just watch Tangled again because I like the little, he's not a frog. And these are cotton satines, and I love that bright green one, but also there's this pretty paisley one right next to it, it's so unusual. Normally paisley ones are quite conservative. That one's got lovely colours in it. And yeah, there's just so many different fabrics. I like that one there. But it kind of reminds me of a Sally Kelly print that I already have, another paisley. And now we are in, this is me pointing out that they do actually have plain fabrics. I just entirely 100% focused on the prints. So yeah, I think that bit that I don't show you is all the Disney prints and movies and things like that. And then we have these beautiful, some of them are yarn dyed and some of them, I have that green and, that's narrowing it down, isn't it? I have the green one. They're all green. But yeah, I have the one on the end. And I made a dress I had 3 different green and white fabrics and I cut them up and I just went, so it's a kind of a layer cake dress out of 6 yards of fabric. But it was just, 3 fabrics mixed. And then we're in the fluffy section. Oh, that blue and white one is a football club. If you are a straight woman and you've never Googled Australian rules football, by all means Google it because it's not as rough as any of the other types of football. And they leap around and they're wearing very short shorts. And actually they have a women's football league now. So I guess everyone can Google it. But yes, a lot of Australian women go crazy. Well, not all of them, but some of them go absolutely crazy for the sports. I'm not really a sports person. I like playing sports, but I don't particularly like watching them. And now we are in, this is beautiful. This is like the muslin section, like really, really fine cotton. And they just, do you remember that strawberry dress from a few years ago during the pandemic? Everyone had those tulle dresses with glittery strawberries on them. Well, they've got this muslin fabric and you could buy 8 or 9 yards of it and you could make like a maxi flowing dress that would be pink and it had strawberries on it. So it wouldn't look exactly like that strawberry dress that went viral, but it'd be sort of like the same genre, but it would be see-through. It would be more wearable in my books. And this one looks like a batik, but it's not. It's pretty amazing. And again, just me and the florals. Leave me alone with the florals. They're just beautiful. I think this is cotton and linen blends and cotton flax blends and organic cotton, so the more expensive ones. But they had some really beautiful, there was an Australiana one, so they're Australian native plants with kookaburra on there. And this one just has the most beautiful combination of colours in it. It's got sort of peaches, and I was thinking about going back for that one, but obviously I forgot to. So that's a bit of a disappointment. And then there are actually lots of other patterns, just so you know, but I clearly decided to focus almost exclusively on the florals. And donuts, yes, I was getting hungry by this time because, as I said, this is in a shopping centre, and downstairs there's like lots of cafes and a big supermarket as well. So there's lots of delicious smells of baked goods and coffee. And look at all the green fabrics. These ones are still cotton, but they're canvas cotton, so a thicker drill for like cargo pants, or like if you want to make a denim jacket, these would be the grade of cotton that you would use. And this one is cute. It's got metallic gold bees on it. That was quite cute. And then there's a whole denim section. Some of them are embroidered with different things. That's beautiful. Jacket out of that would be quite nice. Or a coat. And then, yeah, different coloured actual denims. And this again is a cotton. So, I mean, denim is cotton. But anyway, but it's like house plants, the leaves of plants in all different colours. I thought that would be really nice to make a denim jacket out of. And there were no longer people in the quilting cotton, so I was tempted to go back there, but I felt like I've probably showed you enough cotton fabric. So this is the rayon section. I'm not really a huge fan of rayons. I buy them every now and again because I feel like I should, and I make, dresses out of them, but I just really like working with cotton and silk and tweed. They're the ones that I really enjoy working with. But, this is the velvet and velour section in the fashion fabrics. Oh, I just realised I forgot to go back to the interior design section because they have the decorator, this is a beautiful velvet, but the decorator velvets are like made to be used on furniture. So they're really, really sturdy. And because I want to bead on top of them, I need something that's going to take the weight of all that beading and maintain its structural integrity. So some of these are really pretty, but you just have to put so many layers of backing on them. And then there's like a suiting section, but most of these were blend. A couple of them were 100% cotton or 100% cotton, but the rest were like wool blend. So there was some synthetic, some. This is a really, really expensive lace. It was in the sale section, but it was still really expensive, but it was beautiful. I already have like half a dozen laces that I need to make up into jackets, and this is the sale section. You can tell they've all got little sale tags on them, and but a lot of them were knits. So yeah, there were a few cute florals, but moustaches, and fluffy. I think it was a polar fleece, that one. So yeah, I left the sales table because I think there's another part that it has cottons in it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I went over to the it's kind of like it's the mother of the bride section. I don't know what it's like, Formalwear or something like that. But there's like the bridal tules, and then next to it are the, like, if you make a special jacket for the reception, like, or a suit. This is where you'll get those fabrics. This one doesn't come off. Like, it's this beautiful satin look fabric. It's not silk, but it's a satin fabric. And these ones too, like, this peacock feather one is just amazing. And the tules, I am a sucker for a purpley pink tulle or mauve pink tulle. They're just so beautiful. And this tulle is adorable. It has little daisies or cherry blossoms painted on it. And this is the sales section. And there was this print, and it had, Dwight from The Office. He was hanging up Christmas. This is a Christmas party sign. Anyway. And now I have finally gone back to the threads, and I'm so tempted to get the garish ones, but I've got 10 that I need. So they're really boring, but that's what I needed. And yeah, these are some of the velvets. I was tempted, but I should really use up the velvets and satins that I already have. So that was it for the Spotlight store, the fabric store. I can now reveal the exciting fabrics that I bought from that store. Oh, this is a parking garage and it's like covered in vines. So cool. And yeah, I walked back over the bridge to the city proper. So that was South Melbourne and South Bank, and then crossing back over this bridge here gets you back into Melbourne. And there's loads of alleyways and laneways in Melbourne, and it's some of them are covered, and these are just cute they're all full of shops. They're either restaurants, cafes, or they're like trinket shops. And yes, obviously the ice cream store was very popular. And then on the right there where that column is, if you go down the stairs there, you sort of go under the street and you come up again in the main railway station. I showed you the fancy facade of it in the past episode. And now this laneway here is incredibly popular during the week. So this is on the weekend, and it's kind of all shut up now. I love this building. It's so Art Deco. It's very pretty. But yeah, there's a couple of these cafes open, but the buildings are just so beautiful above the street level. Like they've modernized one the ground floor, but all the other ones are still beautiful and old fashioned. They're gorgeous. So yeah, it's full of like sandwich stores and cafes where the business people get their lunch. So everything's really fresh and really reasonably priced. It's awesome. And yet more recycle bins and more pigeons and more graffiti. Oh, there's a whole section of Melbourne that has alleyways with different graffiti in it. And the graffiti artists like do new works all the time. So if you go there like 1 week or 1 month and then you come back to Melbourne and you go another month, it's like sections of it are completely different. So these are the famous arcades. This is the Block Arcade. This is like the fanciest one. And the floor is actually a mosaic. That's the Hopeton Tea Rooms on the right there. I love the wallpaper. It's so beautiful. And yum, so many yummy things. And then they have extra tables outside. And everyone walking past like looks at the yummy food they're eating. It must be a little daunting to sit there. And it's sort of, a store with scarves, a store with handmade objects and art galleries and things, and this massive chocolate shop. And they have chewy caramel covered in chocolate is my favourite thing to buy here, but they have loads of different things, and there's kind of sample ones in the window. Obviously they're not real, and then we're going down this other alleyway to get to the Royal Arcade. So I just like the plants there. And this is Royal Arcade, and you can tell they've all got different types of tiles in them. And so the black and white one is, but the carpet says what arcade you're in as well. And because the tourists, like this bit I'm going up now, you sort of walk up a bit and then you turn around and you see these big 2 statues, and they hit their bells every hour on the hour. So I'm not gonna hang around for 20 minutes so you can hear it. But yeah, and there's a huge crowd there, and that's why the carpet's there, so everyone can tell they're in the right spot, and they just keep walking and turn around. And yes, and these stores, I love how the windows are sort of box windows, and these are it's like a Russian doll store. And then this is a department store that's just on the other side of the arcade, and it's completely changed since I was in here last. So I just took a little bit of footage. And then this is another sort of like a little shopping mall just across from it. And there's layers and layers of different shops and everything. And I love frogs, so I just thought I had to. It's like a tapestry type of fabric, and there's this sales rack in it. Or maybe it's a toad, actually, given the other things, the toadstools. And that was a tea store with teapots that were very pretty. And that statue is a bunyip. It's like a troll sort of thing. And then this is Joan of Arc, and they just had all these women on there, so there must be some, I don't know, women's sleigh thing. And the other statue is St. George slaying a poor, defenseless dragon. They used to have giant bits of chess, so you could play chess on the ground at the front of the state library. But they don't have that anymore. Anyway, before I show you my fabric haul and the fabrics that I did purchase, we're going to go over and look once more at the ones I regret not getting. But I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day. I can't make everything. I love that sort of pinky mauvey tulle. It's just magnificent. I totally want to make a dress out of it. But like, I don't go to formal things. I actively try and get out of every formal occasion I have, might even reasonably be asked to. So yeah, I really like these fancy fabrics though. I think they're beautiful and they would be a challenge to bead. I regret not getting those red beads with the sort of gold metallic sheen on them. And as to the cottons, well, I kind of just want one of everything, but I really like that watermelon one and that rainbow check one. I think that would have been really interesting and fun to bead as well. This sort of weird hybrid of a 1930s floral print, but with 1970 colours. This one would have made a fabulous shirt, or, one of those vintage cotton reversible jackets. This one is just lovely. I'm not sure I'm grown and up enough to wear it, but I would just wear it over a t-shirt and jeans. Love the bright green with the florals on top. That is so pretty. And this fluffy fabric, it's the colour of Sully from Monsters, Inc. And I just love that character so much. I didn't get hugged as a child, can you tell? I love this organic cotton here, and I think it might be cotton linen blend. Anyway, it's an understated floral, but really pretty. That one is interesting, but those sorts of fabrics that are sort of woven and they're like made out of string or, rope-like yarn, they're really hard to cut. So in that regard, I don't regret it that much. So anyway, let's look at the ones that I did actually buy. That's the mauvey pink shawl that I love, and we're just about to see the cute one with the cherry blossoms on it. So pretty. Here we are finally with the 5 fabrics. This is going to be such an absolute anticlimax. So it's 5 cottons, and I mean, you literally just saw them. So this is sort of a dark aqua, but not quite into teal, and it's an organic cotton, so it's kind of a little bit more blurred than a digital print on a cotton poplin, say, or something like that, or a quilting cotton. So it's nice and soft, but it's still cotton. And I'm going to make it, and it's just sort of all different coloured flowers, but I like how they're kind of in rows. So I'm going to make a cotton reversible vintage style jacket out of this. So this will be one side and another bluish one will be on the other side, I suppose. I mean, I could make a Chanel style jacket out of it and then put beads in the middle of each of the flowers and blue beads over the aqua part, but I think I'll just do a spring cotton reversible jacket with it. And this one is another organic cotton, and I got it because I used to have a Liberty of London cotton lawn, and it was in apricot and blues floral on a black inky background, and this just reminded me of it. It's obviously a lot fuzzier and a lot less detail than a Liberty of London print, but I like the colours together. So yeah, again, one of those vintage or maybe the baggier one, so the one on the left, or maybe one of these two, I'm not sure. And then I'll use the scraps left over to just make a really big scrap work, patchwork dress out of all the leftovers. So I just got a yard of each of these fabrics because I wanted to make, I suppose I could just add it as a layer in a layer cake dress, but I don't know, I think it'll be really nice as a summer jacket, and I don't have any in that particular color. And this one, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that would make the cutest summer jacket or bolero jacket, and it's just beautiful. I love it. It's just so bright and cheerful, and yeah, I love this one. And yes, I'm very fascinated by it. So I guess like the first one I did and this one could be opposite sides of a reversible cotton jacket, I suppose. They're similar. Like I always think about, because I hand stitch, I don't like machine top stitching, so I hand stitch around the edges. So I kind of have to have sort of similar colours on each side, so I can just use the same thread to, do the top stitching. But yeah, it's very beautiful. I mean, I could use it in a layer cake dress, but I just think it'd be gorgeous over the top of... I've got loads of aqua floral dresses, so I think I'll make a summer jacket out of this one to wear over them or over a t-shirt and jeans. Very pretty. Okay, we've only got a couple more to go. This one is adorable. It's a leafy seahorse, and if you've seen them in real life, they're sort of seaweed. They look like seaweed, but they're actually little seahorses, or like autumn leaves, and yeah, they just look absolutely beautiful as they float. And yeah, but they've made it pink and hot pink and orange, so it's completely different, completely wrong color wise. But originally I thought I might make a jacket out of it, so that, because some of the dragonflies go to the left and some of them are facing to the right. So I thought I could make a Chanel style jacket and have like them looking at each other on the front of the jacket. But I don't know, that kind of seems a little bit tacky. Definitely wouldn't work on the summer jackets, because like the point of the seahorse is that the whole body looks like the floaty leaf bits that sort of its wings are the coolest part of it. So yeah, I think I'll just sort of just use it as like a camouflage type fabric. And yeah, because I mean, I guess if you used it as a skirt in a dress, then you could get the actual impact of the seahorse. But I don't know, I kind of like the colours as a summer jacket, so we'll see. Maybe I'll just get out a picture frame and hang it up for a bit and see if I like it. But I think I'll probably just see, here you can't really tell that it's seahorses, but the colours are still really pretty. So I think I'll probably use it that way. And I suppose you could use it reversible with the other, the black backed one with orange and blue, maybe. And then this is the last fabric. This one is actually a cotton canvas, so a thicker denim-like cotton. And yeah, so I guess I could make a denim jacket out of this one, but I was thinking maybe a Chanel style jacket and overbeading it with lots of beads, maybe the way I did the Kandinsky one, with the strings of beads, but mixed with big gemstone style beads for the center of some of the flowers or something. I don't know. I'm yet to make a jacket, or I could just do one of these sort of jackets. That would definitely be the easiest thing. But I kind of want to experiment with beading on a frame. So you cut out each of the piece of the jackets for a Chanel style jacket like this one here. And instead of sewing all the pieces together, then doing the beading, what the design houses do in Paris is they cut out all the pieces, then they send them off to the embellisher and they string them up on frames, and then they bead them, and then they send them back to the design house, and the design house machine or hand stitches all the pieces together to make it into a jacket. So, and I've never used that actual technique, so maybe I could do that. I don't know. You don't generally use a piece of cotton for that sort of thing. You tend to use a more expensive fabric as the base fabric. But I mean, it's just me making jackets for myself, so I guess I can do whatever I want. But making the summer jacket would definitely be the easiest one. Anyway, those are the 5 fabrics that I purchased from the store. So I hope you enjoyed my store visit, both part 1 and part 2. These are the fabrics from part 1. And yes, I have lots of jackets or dresses or goodness knows what to make now, but I have lots of florals, beautiful floral prints to do it with. So, and the leafy seahorses. Gorgeous prints, all of them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed visiting the fabric store and checking out my lovely purchases. Thanks again for watching and happy sewing. A denim jacket out of that fabric would look so gorgeous.